Hello my scrappy friends, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So this layout is actually all about feeding the pelicans at Phillip Island. So of course there is nothing pelican ephemera related in this kit, and why would there be? That is such a niche topic, and of course I'm sure if I hunted hard enough I would find something, but I only need it for this one layout. So I decided to channel my inner Lisa Francesca, I think that's how you pronounce it, and I apologize if it was way wrong, who makes these most adorable little critters. If you have been following me, you know I have been inspired by her before or copied her designs before because I just love it. She of course has never done a pelican, well I don't think she has, but still the concept is definitely a take on her incredible art. So what I have done is I have cut out the different body parts of the pelican. I've got the main body, I did cut a black and a white feather, and then I cut that of course gigantic bill because that is what makes a pelican a pelican. I then stuck all those bits down onto white paper and then cut all the way around the pelican, leaving a small sort of border showing. I then got a black texture marker and added the outline. You can see I've done outline and a couple of dots just to kind of break the lines up a little bit, and that is my sort of main background piece there. I then have 3 photos that I'm going to attach. 2 of them are 3x4 size, and then that other one here, which is just a little one. And I fussy cut some flowers. Bonus points if you remember that I used the other half of this page on my first layout of the month, the Buddhist monument layout, that I did a diagonal design. So I fussy cut these blue and pink flowers. So the flowers are pink, but they're on blue background from that paper that I used in the first week, and I'm going to use these beautiful flowers to add the ephemera to my page. I am keeping the ephemera really quite simple once I add these florals. It is going to be all about the florals, the pelicans, and the photos. I love this background paper. I think this background paper color is up there with my absolute favorite. When I first saw this collection, I definitely saw this paper as one of the first pieces that I wanted to use. Something I was never very good at is I would save my favorite things. I couldn't possibly use them. Whereas now, I think the point is to use them, because every time you save them, you never end up getting to them. So I loved this paper. It worked really well as sort of being a great background setting for the water and the sky feeling there, because it's darker at the bottom and it's lighter at the top, and I just rolled with it. I thought it looked so fun. So what is happening here is at Phillip Island, which is a place just outside of Melbourne in Victoria, there is a fish and chip shop who every 12 o'clock comes down and he feeds the pelican. So he brings the scraps of the fish, and we as tourists, we don't feed the pelicans, we watch him feed the pelicans. And he wears a microphone and he talks to us about the pelicans. He explains about their size and how you can tell which of the males and the females and how much they eat, and basically sort of how they're going, if they're safe and happy or if they're endangered and things like that, how many there are at the moment. Some days, so our particular day, I think we had about 5 pelicans there, but some days he said you can have 20, 30, 40 pelicans. It's he can never know for sure how many will be there. Of course there's always seagulls looking to steal some of the pelicans' food. But he was also, of course, using this as a chance to spread that awareness about rubbish and making sure rubbish doesn't go into the oceans and the waterways. It was just a really fabulous presentation by the man. I was going to call him a fisherman, which he possibly is, but I think now he's more of a business owner and a awareness activator person. I don't know what the language would be, but it was a really, really nice thing to come and see, and there were hundreds of people there to watch it. They stand all along the jetty. You can kind of see them in the close-up photos behind his head. They're all up along there, as well as people like us who were down on the sand. it was not a hot day, so it was definitely not swimming weather, but Jack had already decided that he needed to go wading in the water, so he got pride of place because he wasn't afraid to get his feet wet. So he's right up the front watching the man feed the penguins because he didn't mind being in there, which was pretty cool for him. So once I pop on this last bunch of flowers, I apologize, it is starting to rain quite heavily. I hope the sound isn't too loud for you in this voiceover. I came outside to find somewhere quiet away from the children. I'm not getting wet, I'm undercover, but it is now raining quite heavily. But I do need to finish this voiceover before I go back inside to the noise and the hustle and the bustle of those boys. When I had originally thought about this layout, I thought I might put that last bunch of flowers that I'm working with now in between the bill and the neck of the pelican, but of course I ended up not leaving space there, clearly. So I'm now popping it over on the side. I just love how this layout turned out. It does have quite a bit of empty space in the top left-hand corner, but sometimes I think we need to embrace the empty. A lot of my layouts can be really chaotic and really busy, and that's great for a busy, chaotic layout. That's totally fine. There's a time and a place for those busy layouts. And aspects of this layout are also very busy, but I think it is okay if I embrace the fact that I have nothing in the top left-hand corner, and that doesn't hurt the layout at all. So I love the way this came together. I think my pelican is super cute, and I think it was a really nice way to get something on theme when there isn't anything to go with that theme in a collection. I think it works really, really well. I was really happy with that. I am now going to put on some of those teeny tiny bits enamel dots. I adore these enamel dots. They are the most divine size. They are so cute and so tiny. But oh my goodness, they were difficult to get off the packaging and actually stick on accurately. I ended up needing to get a pin to be able to almost slide them off the packaging, and then they stuck to the end of the pin and I could put them onto the page. This strategy worked quite well, so I am going to stick with that, but gosh, it was difficult. But I love them. They're so cute, and they're a great way to just tie in that last little pop of colour. So I am very happy with how this one came together. I am, of course, going to finish up with some gold splatters because I cannot make a layout without adding splatters. It is very unusual for me. I think I can count on one hand the amount of layouts that I don't end up putting splatters on. And then I also pulled out some Heidi Swap blush. This is actually not the traditional colour that Heidi Swap had made her blush. I found it to be too light, and I just added some random things of my own to make it a bit darker. So I really can't call it blush anymore, but it's a cute little pink. And it's got the shine that Heidi Swap puts into them. Anywho, here are my close-up photos. I hope you have enjoyed this layout. Have a happy, scrappy week, and I will see you next week. Bye.